All right, so today we're going to finish up our idea of circles and everything going on in the circle universe. The equation you see in front of you should look familiar. That should be the equation for a circle, where H and K are your coordinates for your center. And then R is your radius. Jumpy computer screen. We're gonna fix it for you. So even though we see x minus h, we're going to flip the sign. Same with the k. We see minus, we're going to flip it. So keeping that in mind, we're going to write the standard equation of a circle with the center of 5, -2 and radius 7. So that's x minus 5, because we're going to do the opposite, quantity squared, plus y plus 2, quantity squared, is equal to 49. Since my 2 is negative here, it has to become positive. And the square, 7 squared is 49. The standard equation of a circle through center 3, 5. I have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 36. This last one I have x plus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 2, because you have the square root of 2. When you take that squared, the squared and the square root cancel each other out. So that's how you get 2. All right, so now we're given the center and a point. So what we need to do here is we need to find the radius. Well, isn't the radius just equal to the distance? Let me switch to smaller size. So we're going to use the distance formula. So this is where I'm coming up with this information. Since the radius is the distance from this point to this point, all the way around, we're going to use my distance formula. And we've seen that before. Distance formula is the square root of. Now, my radius is kind of in the middle. My point is out here. So I'm going to have my 2 minus the 1. The 2 coming from that point we're talking about, minus the 1 in my center, squared, plus, I'm trying to attempt to make that line a little straighter, two again from the points, plus 3, quantity squared. So the difference between the distance formula and the equation of my circle is I square rooted both sides, essentially. So I don't have x and y here, I have this point, the point being used of 2 in the x and the 2 in the y. So we have 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 5 squared, which is 26. So then the equation is going to be x minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared, which is equal to 26. Because if your radius is the square root of 26, when you square it, your answer is 26. All right, so same idea. I'm going to start with the square root of my point of -1 minus my center, plus the point minus my center. So I have the square root of -3 squared. Now these are all essentially in parentheses, but when they're positive, I don't really need the parentheses. When they are negative, however, I need to make sure I put those parentheses around it so that I get the correct answer. Plus that -2 squared. So -3 squared gives me 9. -2 squared gives me 4. 9 plus 4 gives me the square root of 13. So my answer is x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 13. So good, not really too bad. Alright, graphing a circle. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use my graphs, my circle that can be made. I did on my answer key make it really bad. So I can't really see. There you go. Did make really bad pictures. The reason your graphs look different on the notes versus the board is I was having some copier problems today and I could not get this graph here to show up, so I had to improvise. It's very irritating, let me tell you. Alright, so let's talk about my center. So the center should be at -2. My radius will be at 8. So what I'm going to do first is to just get a general idea of where my circle should be. So I'm going to do the center of 2, -2. This big old dot. And then I should have my 4 points, essentially, so I can kind of get the outline. So everywhere plus 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I went up 8. I'm going to go to the right 8. I'm going to go down 8. And the left 8. 1, 2, 3. So my circle should hit those points. So what you're going to do is connect those lovely circles. What I'm going to do is cheat a little bit. Bam. We're going to make him purple. There's that circle. Alright, same idea for this next one. My center is at -3, 4. And my radius is 4 because I square root it. So -3, +4. I'm going to do this one in black. So I'm going to go up 4, down 4, right 4, left 4. So my circle should, can I not count? 1, 2, nope, I can't count. This dot should be right there. I can't count today, I'm sorry guys. So my circle should be about that size, or look roughly about that. Again, I understand you're drawing this from scratch. It's hard. That's all I got for you. Have a good night.